this is Alekius, and welcome back to another episode of Automation Kiev Motors. Taking a couple episodes to get through all of our motors and models because all of them continue to sell, which is crazy. Here we are with the engine that goes in the Drzewo, which I was looking at, and I was actually contemplating switching them all over to injection, but I'm gonna wait. For now, though, I will bump up the RPM limiter. We'll boost the compression, and then we'll do our timing tuning. So we'll try a more advanced timing first. Seems to be beneficial. It's hurting the fuel economy though. So let's revert and try retarding the timing, which might actually help the fuel economy, and it does. Significantly at that. So let's try more compression. So yeah, I think we're going to go with a 7.9 compression ratio. And then tailor the RPM limiter for whatever works. Looks like 5200 RPMs. And we're not getting anything from necking down the exhaust system or restricting the exhaust system at all. So that brings us to a 800cc eco naturally aspirated carbureted 30 horsepower engine designed in '83. Then have our injected one. Stay as a single point. Bump up the RPMs again. Bump up the compression. And then we'll tune our timing again. This is going in the Drzewo. That doesn't seem right. Try dropping the compression and advancing the timing. And we have it right about locked in. And no change to the RPM limit. We lose a lot of fuel efficiency if we unrestrict the exhaust system, so we're going to keep that. Further restriction doesn't help. So, ENI 3183. Those are our two engines. One of them going in the Drzewo, which is the carbureted one. Commuter budget, I believe. Right there. Advanced automatic, which everyone loves. 3 gears. Plenty of overdrive. And no need to change it. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised about the differentials. Kind of like significantly like a longer spacing. We'll stick with 60. No better tires, they want the long life. And brakes are probably fine as is. No way to decrease them in size. No improvements to interior or entertainment. And we have our power steering, our ABS, and an upgrade to the safety. Standard, progressive. Yeah, that's about what I expected. And no need to change anything else. Alright, solid upgrade for it. Siwoo is... I'm going to take a note somewhere else. Making 6330. You boost the process. Increase the funding. Try to learn as much as we can in 5 years. We're looking at 6152. Can't finish the project without doing the engine though. We have 2 engine factories. I don't remember which one's going to which one. That is way too many. That is a lot of engines. So we're going to wait. Come back to the Ziwu. Now for the Warczec. We have her new engine. Forged, lightweight forged. DCOE, I don't think we're going to upgrade that. We will get a better fuel in there. See where that leaves us. We can do 87, no, 86. We'll add variable valve timing. Boost the compression. Drop the timing, and then we will try boosting the compression further. Not surprising. So we need more advanced timing. Yep, that seems to work out. And a little bit more. Oh, steadily improving. Really advanced timing. There we go, we've reached the limit. Now if we squeeze down the RPM limits, our highest was 85 at 8,500 RPMs. Not limited on intake. The exhaust is about ideal. Very loud engine, so we will do a muffler. Bring the exhaust diameter back down to where it was. That gets the best scavenging effect. We have naturally aspirated carbureted 119 TAC 83. Well, that's almost 10 horsepower more. That's very well. Our facelift, we have our light sport and convertible premium. $83 and $83. Light sport, are they going to want an advanced? Everyone wants advanced automatic. Many gears as possible. Reduce the top speed for a higher acceleration, I assume. It brings that 0 to 60 down. Don't want to bring it down too far, so I think I'm going to set it for 118. Wider spacing is what they want within limits. 44, 45, 45 it is. Geared limited slip seems to be the way to go. No need to change any of this. Light sport care about premium enough. Nope, rather go with alloy wheels. Vented discs, I already know. Drop it to 1 piston and increase the size, I think. Yeah, that seems to be working out better. I don't remember, what is above 170? Oh well, we're doing 1 piston with bigger brake rotors. It's a light sport, so they're not going to want an undercarriage. Do want at least a basic interior. Basic entertainment. I doubt they want... Oh no, variable hydraulic power steering is nice. So is the ABS. Upgrade the safety, they don't get a choice in the matter. Rasowy is not desirable, neither is hydropneumatic. Air isn't terrible, but is still not desirable. And 453 pounds capacity for 2 seats. And we have our convertible premium. Also will want advanced automatic. Drop the top speed down. Get it into that peak. Seem to do alright with lengthening the gears, but not significantly. So I'm not going to go any further. No need for a differential. I already have pretty good wheels. Vented disc, both sides. Do 200s. Three piston. Okay, that'll work. Aerodynamics, fully clad. No under tray. Okay then. Definitely handmade. Not the luxury, premium cassette instead. There's a drop there. Probably wants the variable, probably wants the ABS. No choice on the safety. Hydropneumatic is where it's going to be at. All we need to do is adjust the drivability. Or not. They just don't like front camber. Let's... not wrong way. Stiffer back sway bar. And not lower to the ground. That's fine. It's pretty close. 176 is an excellent score. We'll build these both in this factory. I'm going to make 1,350 engines. I keep forgetting. We're adjusting a lot of this to get it to where I wanted it to be originally. Because since we're selling it, I'm not too concerned about where the timing. I don't care that it's taking 10 years to do this. So 900 plus 500, that's 1400 plus 50 for the change. 1450 is what I'm looking at engine wise. 1400. Then with a little bit more tooling, a little bit more process efficiency, a little bit more reliability, we'll be well over 1450. If we throw some money at it, let's see, let's bring this down to 65. That's about half price. Throw some reliability in there. There we go. It'll be a very reliable engine. Have our forecaster. Go with the 5-year for this one. Even the factories take the same time. Now we have our Silnys. No doubt about this one. Go to the engine project, new facelift. Get this engine tuned up a bit. We won't need a turbocharger, but I would not mind. The crank's not the limiter, the piston is. And we don't have anything better than forged at the moment. So our maximum RPM is 56, 55. Go down to a 30 cam profile. Bump up the compression to 91. Alright. We'll retard the timing, which is good for the fuel economy, barely, and bad for the high end. Not surprising. So let's try advancing the timing. It's not a terrible drop in fuel efficiency. I might keep that. Nah. Intakes are a little bit limited. We want that full 5,500 RPMs. We squeeze it down, we lose 10 horsepower. We gain a lot of efficiency, and I don't want to do that. And we do need at least a muffler. So 2.8 liter, economy, carbureted, or naturally aspirated, carbureted, 102, TAC 83. There's that. Do the facelift for these. We have our van, which will want advanced automatic. Keep it at 3 gears, 2 will be too little. Put a little bit of overdrive on her. Oh, not much apparently. Leave the spacing fully out. Oh, keep the manual locker. Alloy wheels are going to be undesirable, so is medium compound. Vented discs, desirable. As well as having bigger brakes. They are pretty heavy. I'll expect to do this on the other one. 300s and 200s, wow. No improvements to the interior or the entertainment. Variable hydraulic power steering is a little much. Weight savings is desirable, the ABS is not. Going up to standard 80s. Actually, the basic 70s has lots of... They can get away with basic. And I will just do basic. I'm not going to want any sort of fancy suspension. Drivability is at 100. Oh, that's fine. Now for the family premium. Is it supposed to be family premium? 4 gears. More overdrive isn't necessarily what's wanted. Pretty much already where it wanted to be. Differential, open it up for 107, geared for 107, or like 0.8%. Yeah, no need for that. Get some hard wheels, alloy rims, vent the discs, decrease the size of the brakes, 108, 0.1, 0.2, there we go, 0.2, 0.3, 280 and 190. Premium interior, premium 8-track. Yeah, that's all over the place. Variable hydraulic, ABS, standard 80s. Hydrogen-matic is going to be what they want. Oh, maybe not. We'll do progressive gas mono. And there we go. Not the best van in the world. We'll go to the factory. That gives us a lot. So here we are, we're back in the van. And that is too much. So we'll look to be 10 years to complete this trim. And we're going to have 5 and 35, 8,500 engines. That looks like it's probably doable. Nope, I already had it bumped up. But we have plenty of time to work with, so we're going to max out reliability, bring the automation up to 8,500. Process improvements. Max out the tooling too, that would be dirt cheap to make in that factory. And then 5 years. Now we're in the home stretch. Have the Gmina, which, yes, that's using the same as the Drzewo. So we will make an update, clear the engine slot, select the new engine, which is the ENI. Family budget 83. I do believe it's family budget. Advanced automatic, all the rage these days. No further overdrive. Don't need to change it either. Spacing is fairly ideal. Bump it up slightly. No need for a differential. This is a budget vehicle, gotta remember that. Brakes. Go to solid disc. Well, I can't decrease the size of it. Increasing the size, the brakes is undesirable. So I think this is about where it goes. Yep, no changes to the brakes. No change to the aerodynamics. They're not going to want any entertainment or improvements to the interior. They're not going to want ABS. They want to keep with basic safety, which, yeah, that I'm okay with that on this one. They do want to splurge on the progressives. Really not that expensive. Just slightly more camber, and there we go. Gmina is done, and we're making get this one done in 5 years. 36,000 engines. I forgot how many of these we're making. How long is this project taking? 60. Perfect. So now all I need to do is, we have the large 2, we're going to want ENIs made in this one. That's more than enough. And then the ENCs will be made in this one, but we need more. A lot more. It's actually not enough. Not terrible. I'll bump up the tooling, I guess, to 3,600. We have our 2 factories. Give it a little bit more funding. Still doesn't get us quite to where we wanted to be. We're going to be starved on engines for the Drzewo. But that is alright. We have our 2 engines. Then the Drzewo will make it more expensive so they don't sell as many. I think we can get away with a little bit more of a markup. Then we'll go adjust the Gmina. There we go. All 3 projects signed off. Then we have our Kaczan. Update that engine. And again, the crank is not what is limiting us. We will do variable valve timing and we will add ball bearings. Edge of course causes knocking. That's fine. Also upgrade the fuel. This Sarponi car, we'll keep it single point. No, the intake's way too starved. So we'll do multi-point, keep the performance, bump up the fuel mixture. We'll max out the RPMs. Bump up the exhaust a little bit. And the intercooler a little bit. So, question becomes, how much do we want to mess with it? I think we're going to limit it there. Maybe keep the turbine at the same. We're shifting at 5,600. I know that made her lively, but why not? Go for raw horsepower here. Max out the compressor. Balance the turbine with it. We're going to want a max AR ratio if we're going to do this. And that puts our turbine at 43. Max boost pressure. That's giving us 170 horsepower. Alright. Boost the compression all the way up to 95. We'll retard the timing. Make sure this is going to work for the intercooler. Let's bump this down to... Alright, the intercooler doesn't need to be any bigger. Compressor's already as big as it's going to get. And boost the turbine just a hair. Boost look like. Just keeps climbing. However, it climbs to a max of 37. We'll flatten it out right at that. Yeah, if we give it an early moment we're getting better performance. Where is RPM? 7,800 RPMs. So we want to squeeze it down to right there. 34.5 pounds per square inch of boost. I'm not gonna reduce the, oh, well, maybe. That is giving us a higher max horsepower. Now we're losing the high end. Turbos are so finicky. We add in a little bit more turbine. We're compressing the... I don't care for this, it's a pony car. I care about raw power. We'll give them raw power. Intercooler is a little bit bigger. Then we have a semi-aggressive, moderate turbo. I mean, it's a high-end turbo, but it's not a super narrow power band. Can we do one ignition timing? Yes. So here we are, we're close to finishing this engine out. If we advance the timing, we hurt everything. Significantly. So let's try retarding the timing. And we get a little bit from that. But not from the second one. So we'll keep the timing about here. So that's STI. Oh, I have to finish the exhaust. $82.5 millimeters. And it's under 70 decibels. Compressor is the limitation, which is just fine. Engine's too small at this point. And we have an STI 20383. I almost forgot. We don't need all of those RPMs. 9,100 RPMs. That's a little bit. That's a little bit more than what it had before. So we give our facelift to the pony. Becomes a TAC 83. Advanced automatic? Of course. All-wheel drive? They didn't want to go for that. It is kind of expensive. Wider gears. Narrow, we can do a little bit. Limited slip is undesirable on all counts. Alloy wheels? No, apparently not. Force compound? Still no. Kind of surprising. It was the fact that they don't want vented discs. I give it to them anyways. No, solid is fine. Alright. Piston. $195s. Keep the rear brakes, just an adjustment to the front brakes. No cladding. Standard interior. Basic 8-track. No power steering. Well, they'll take the variable hydraulic, but it's really expensive, and I don't want to squeeze the market that much. ABS, they're ambivalent, so I won't give it to them. Safety, they don't get a choice on. Gas mono. On the standard. Alright. Coordinates is already about where I want it. Swap it to the other side so it's just a little bit more tame. Then we have our factory. I'll be making about 4,000 ponies. Do 80 months. I think it should be 70, 60, 72, 84. Oh, 8 years. I think. Might be 7. 60, 72, 84. Yeah, 7. 7 years. Making 3,900 of them. If we want to have more than enough engines, we need 4,000. Easy. Add to the reliability. And it looks like we can't quite. Car is definitely simpler than the engine. That definitely seems accurate. That is a crazy engine. It's a 1 liter that produces 200 horsepower. Keep it at 5-year payoff, and there we go. And we're going to get the hypercar done this episode too. Alright, no need for billet steel, but we're going to because we can. That is what this car is about. Variable valve timing, ball bearings, and we're going to switch over to injection. Should we? Should we really? Like, I know this is a hypercar. Ish. First cylinder multi-point EFI. And boost the fuel mixture. We actually make it over rich. By a lot. 11.8. We'll drop the compression because we're going to throw it all into the turbo. Maximize the size of this intercooler for now. And we're going to boost it as high as we can, much as we did the other one. Oh, I have a boost limiter. My bad. 206, 217, 219. Reducing the cam profile is useful at this point. It's interesting. Decrease the compressor so we can boost the horsepower. Give us a little bit of an RPM range to work with. And we are limited at the turbine. We increase the turbine, we bring the high end back to a lower RPM, but we're squeezing the range. Now our exhaust is limiting us. And now I'm not paying attention to the performance index at all, much as I was with the pony as well. .5 psi at 8,400. Our peak is at 7,700. Let's bring the max boost down. That we hit it at 70. To 31 pounds of boost. 269. That really improves our curve. We lose a few horsepower. We can boost it back up. That brought our boost range down quite a bit. Let's go for 38. I don't know, I kind of like having that wide boost range. Yeah, it's a hypercar, it goes really fast. I also want it to be fun. It's super narrow, it's strictly a race car. Which, I know, it's a hypercar. It's what it's supposed to be. 279. Up the turbine slightly. Well, we're going to go above 280 anyways. .446. No constriction on the exhaust yet. Fuel system, we're going to want super fuel for this. Which that's a RON of 98. And we're there. So nothing to change the intercooler. Nothing to change the exhaust. Alright, had to step away for a moment and I'm back to finish this out. I believe I was just looking at the diameter of the exhaust system. Deciding it needed to be 63.5. I do believe that completes this engine, which is now a XTM. Really XTI, but I did M for the other one. I'm going to keep consistent for the 83 models. Out of curiosity. Wow, that's getting popping. That's a new one for me. I haven't gotten that pop before. What the heck is that thing? That just in a... Dude, there are things on this I don't even understand what they're for. That's kind of a neat looking engine though. Except that that pipe is all sorts of jacked. Alright, now that I've finished getting distracted by that, get back to our hypercar. They say it's a supercar, and I might just reclassify it as a supercar. It really is. It's not a hypercar. Oh, what's the difference between super and hyper? Prestige. I can't really make it any more prestigious than it was before. Or prestigious, if you prefer. I will go ahead and go for... You know what? No. This is a hypercar. Why? Because I say so. I'm going to keep it. Definitely going to need to redo the drivetrain. Do want to keep it as a 5-gear manual, because the 4-gear advanced automatic isn't quite enough. What about all-wheel drive? Ooh, that's exciting. I am gonna keep that. Don't want it faster. I mean, it's over the top speed anyways. We put it right at the peak. Let's go with right at its peak power, 158. Longer gears are more desirable because there's so many. See about a limited differential, which I had a feeling they were going to like one of them. And we want more of a rear distribution. 3070 has worked for me in other games. And that's enough to eliminate wheel spin. By enough of a margin that it should be alright. We've got our semi-slicks already. It's really going to change how this car drives. Also going to make it heavier. How much heavier does that make it? 80 pounds? Poof, yeah, whatever. 70-30. 80 pounds more. I'll live with 80 pounds. And no brake fade. Definitely want it over braked. Oh, we've got enough on the back end. Fully clad under tray. Handmade. Luxury. Cassette. Power steering? Yeah, I thought the variable hydraulic was like the Bugatti Veyron of the 1983. I know that's not an entirely fair comparison, but remove the camber from the ooh. We'll put half a degree of camber back on. Try to do this with the sway bar. There we go. It's a pretty stiff rear sway bar. We have mucked about with the weight balance of the vehicle. I feel like we probably should adjust everything about the suspension. Switching from rear wheel to all wheel is a big deal. Bring it just a little bit lower to the ground than it was, and we got a 132, which that is pretty respectable. I love that I plated it. Chromed the whole gosh darn thing. Probably going to end up exporting that one. We're making 900 of these things. Good grief. I need to change that to a space frame. And here we are back. After a little bit of a crash. I was saying we need to switch this car to like space frame so we're not making so many. Or wait for the aluminum framing. We get under 96. Do full pressure. We can get this under 8 years. I want to reduce the tooling because that increases the number of production units we're using. Let's do 5. Keep the process at high. Reduce the pressure to 98, 96. 108 is the next year. Alright, doing math in my head. We need to have 900 engines. Factory 11. Need a CNC workshop. They're making the billet steel. That's close enough. We can probably engineer this. Ooh, yeah, there's a lot involved in this car. Pump up the pressure. Pump up the process and the reliability. We're not learning as much about this engine, and I'm okay with that. Spent a long time engineering this to begin with. $5 or $10. It's a difference of $700 on the sticker price. This is a dirt cheap car. I'm not gonna lie, $29,000? That is just nothing. We want it to be cheap though, because we're overproducing it. So yeah, we're going to do 25,000. What we're gonna aim for. Sign off. And that will end a series of episodes that have been nothing but making trims. We've got them all set out, ready to go now. We don't have a new car, but I think, judging by, we'll have carbon fiber body or material, not body, frame material and adaptive shocks. So we'll look at the next episode, rolling time a little bit, getting that carbon fiber, and then designing a new, maybe hypercar, make this one super. So the Rasowy will be our super. This carbon fiber one will be our hypercar. And then maybe something else. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But with that, thank you for staying till the end. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time. Take care.